Hello everybody, this is Lila in Hawaii. I'm making some French textile lavender hearts, and I'm going to use them for Christmas gifts. They could go on a tree. You may have seen this one before. This was one that I made when I was actually in France. So I'll just show you how I go about doing them. I take some French textile, and usually it's an old tea towel, torchon, and then sew two heart shapes. And it doesn't matter if the stripes are going this way or that way or which way. Just sew that simple heart shape all around, leave a space, and turn it inside out so that it looks like this. And then the only thing left to do is fill it with lavender, and this is all solid lavender, and then decorate it. And I chose to decorate it with these raggedy flowers, and I don't know if I've shown you how I make those in the past. They require just some circles of fabric. It should be a sort of a fairly substantial fabric, and of course if it's French fabric that's really nice. And then you need a button, and that's kind of it. Here's one I made earlier. Where is it? There. I'm trying to make sure I'm in focus. So there we go. So that's another one, and that could go, say, on there. These look nice with lace, little lace flowers, or left plain, or just buttons, or whatever. So anyway, I'll show you how I do the flower. First of all, I cut out 3 circles of fabric, and this happens to be tea stained, so I probably won't use this on one of these because these are not tea stained. So I cut out 3 circles, and the way I do that is I'm going to try it with this fabric and just show you how simple it is. So I just take a piece of fabric, my pinking shears need sharpening, and then I'm just going to simply cut a circle, and I don't use a template, just cut it. So just like so. And the circle doesn't have to be perfectly circle either. A perfect circle can be a little bit off, but if it's too much off like there, I would probably round that off a bit. So that's the base one. So that's the base one. Keep that, I think, for the next one. And then you can also mix, I could mix it up with that too. I could put a check with that, but I'm just going to make this plain so you can see how I do it. And then the next one. So now I need to cut one a little bit smaller than that. And you cut them with pinking shears. So that's the second one. And you see it's probably about a centimetre smaller. There, stack that on top of that. And then the last one's going to be smaller again, so you know I've got this piece that I used before, so I'll just cut one a little smaller. And I'm just winging it. If you keep turning the fabric, I find you get more of a circle. So there's the next one, and I think that's a little bit big, so I'm just going to downsize it. So that's the last one. Now all I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew across 4 ways. I'm going to sew across here and across here, and I'll do that to start and show you. I make this stitch a little bit longer, so right from one edge right across, and I leave the threads because I like the look of the threads. So there's the first one, and across again. I don't have a button handy. I thought I would show you with the button, but I just don't seem to have the button handy. Okay, so there I've done 4. Now I'm going to sew again in those spaces, 4 more spaces. It's actually sewing it twice. That makes sense. So that's that. Now I've just got to go on that one. Make sure you go right in the center. Okay, so there's that sewn. So that's all there is to the flower. Now what I have to do is I have to cut it. And I cut between each one of these, but not right to the center. You can cut it how you like, of course. It's arbitrary. But you've got to have some solid in the center. And then if you put these in the washing machine, of course, put them in a bag and put them in a washing machine, they get really, really frayed. But I don't want to do that. So just pick up some of the threads that are hanging around. Okay, so there it is finished. Now all I do now is I crumple it and fray it and shape it and do this kind of thing. And this was drop cloth, this particular piece of fabric. I didn't use French linen. Normally I like to use some linen, but just for this purpose, just drop cloth is good. And it actually frays very nicely. Then of course you can roll it around, and you see how this is kind of curled because that was the type of fabric it was. Okay, where am I? Uh-oh, where's the center? So there it is, and now I just have to put a button in the center. And I'll see if I can find one real quick. Doesn't matter what kind of button it is, actually, or what color. It could be like that. I like a rather big button. That would be good. This is my assortment. I keep most of them color coded. You could put a brown button if you were putting it on something brown. I think for this, oh, you could go with the yellow. No, I kind of like this best. I won't take time to sew it, but that would be how that would go. And then, of course, here is one that needs decorating. So this would go on either that side, maybe up here. Could go on this side, which has more red on it, like that. I'm going to sew this other one just real quick and show you too. This was the one I tea-dyed the fabric, and I did use some French fabric on this one. Continuing, my camera clicked off. So this is how I fill them. I have a little spoon. You could use a plastic spoon, you could use whatever you wanted. But I have this little antique spoon that I like to use. And I must say, it takes a lot of time to do this. And it takes at least 16 of these little spoons to fill this. So I'm not going to go ahead and do any more, but I like it to be pretty firm. And I make sure that the lavender is very aromatic. I keep adding more lavender oil to it. So that's that. And this is another bag of lavender. This is how I purchase it, in big bags like that. I usually purchase about 1 or 2 pounds at a time. Okay, so that's how you make my lavender bags, French style. So this, let's see, this could go, this is the one I've just finished filling, and this is something that could go on it. Try this one. That's a bit too, to me that's a bit too tea stand, and I think I should get this one. I thought actually this would be a good one for that. I'd either put that there, and it needs sort of de-crinkling a bit. I like it on that side, and then if I put it on this side, I put it off center, looks nice too. So there you go. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye.